You may have seen this truck camper combo in some of our other videos. We're pulling the Jeeps with it. We pull the Land Rover with it. We've had a lot of fun with the camper. Overall, the camper works pretty good for what we need when we're doing those Jeep trips. There's plenty of room in it for me and my wife. That's not an issue. But what is an issue is the capacity on the tanks. It really makes it limited. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna demo out the bathroom and start remodeling it. So this is everything that we demoed out. We took out the shower stall, which had the toilet. You can see right where that mounted. So that was the one tank. That was right around 5 gallons, that little square tank. This is actually really close to that same. It's right 5 to 6 gallons. And this is all the associated piping for the valves and everything. So we tore all this out to make way for the new, bigger tank. So this is the bathroom space after everything is demoed out. You can see right here along the floor, that's where there was a little stub wall, and then the wall came up like this, and then there was the shower curtain that came across, and then the shower curtain originally went the other way. We flipped it around though, so it will now close off using a curtain from the rest of the camper. So you can be in the main camper and somebody can use the bathroom and have some privacy. All right, a bonus on doing this whole kind of restructuring of the back is that the wood was starting to get a little bit of water damage and fatigue. So some of these outrigger bolts are starting to come out. So all of this is gonna get taken off and redone. So to get ready, we're going to loosen up the jacks, push them up in the air so we can take the lower bracket off. We're going to remove this whole section so that the back of the camper's free. Get the steps, everything off the back on this lower piece so that we can cut the bottom off to make it flush with the floor for the new tank. Okay, so you can see we got everything off the back, the jacks, the siding off the sides, and of course, you know, like any 20-plus-year-old camper, we found some definite water damage in the back end. So luckily that's all part of our restructure and reinforce plan for this camper. So we're gonna go in a little bit deeper, take a little bit of the siding off the bottom, and then start building the supports on the side. All right, things are coming along nicely. As you can see, there's all the debris that we have taken out. And here on the back side, now you can see a little bit better how they constructed it. Just have a little bit more to take out right along there. And then we'll be trimming off this wood, replacing what's bad, and getting ready to build the substructure for the back. So we're gonna take 4 inches off the bottom here. This is this whole little lip, so we can expose all the bad wood, and that's gonna be coming off. We're gonna fix that up. But here's one way to do it, is you just take a good sharp razor knife, and you score right along the line. And we'll come back to this in just a second. Usually when you score, just do it one time. If you're nervous though, go back in, do it one more cut, but just try to stay in the same line. Normally you would have to snap it down to open that up and pop it, but you can do it slowly. And then just kind of go back and forth with it, up and down. Watch the edges though, they are gonna be sharp. And there you go. So it's fairly easy to cut aluminum siding on a camper. Okay, so we kept going a little bit further on our demo. We took out the LP compartment because it takes up a ton of space, and we are hoping just to mount a single LP tank on the back of the camper. What this will do for us is give us a new full depth compartment on the inside of the camper, which is going to be a lot more storage that we can use. That's one limitation also on this camper. So again, another kind of bonus to doing this whole thing is more storage on the interior. Okay, we got everything all cleaned up, and we are to the point of starting to put things back together. So we've got it to all solid lumber, and we're gonna start putting back in some structure and then building out a couple of little compartments. We're gonna put the batteries on this side, which is gonna, again, free up some space in the camper, and we're gonna box this to make it a little stronger and really beef it up with some plywood. Okay, so I'm trying to make sure all my new wood gets tied into good wood in the back. We added this piece in because this piece of wood in the corner is just a little bit soft yet. It's in a spot where it's really difficult to take it out. So we're just gonna box it and then put another piece here that will tie this one to this one, making it real strong. Okay, so once again, we've got this side all boxed in, plywood on the back, and that compartment is for this. So basically it's gonna go like that. And that is gonna be our new battery tray with a pull out. So we can put our battery, push it in, and lock it up. So that again gets more stuff out of the inside, puts it in outside storage. So there's a few different ways that you can cut the hole. So that is the cutout for the compartment. This will be the outside. But what I'm gonna do is just score it on all sides and then pop it, and then I'll peel it out. So I'll show you how to do it. One thing to remember is your compartment has got that 1-inch lip all the way around, so it is going to cover some of the little imperfections. So don't get yourself too worked up about that. So there I've got it scored. Maybe you can see. What I am going to do is go around and do the corners one more time real hard.
That's where the material's going to be holding on to.
Now we'll just kind of cut the corners. And that's what I was hoping not to do. So I nicked it just a little bit. Doggone it. So I usually try to do everything from the back side. So let's see if we just give it a little light bend. Finally break. It's going to be real sharp, so make sure you wear gloves just like I do. Okay, there we go. We got it cut out with only one little nick, which part of it will be covered. All right, so here it is. So we pushed it up underneath. This is going to get screwed back down and then we'll caulk it. But there it is. Our other metal is going to come in, and remember, we're going to have a trim piece here. Okay, we're just about done with the passenger side. You can see we put some plywood on it. This has really stiffened up the entire thing. We're keeping the corner posts where they are, but of course we went, instead of a 2x2, we went with a full 2x4, plus these other 2x4s coming in. So everything now is incredibly rigid. We still have to put a little floor in our compartment. This compartment is going to be for all of our outside sewer stuff. So before, this was just an open space. You could actually reach in here and pull our dump valve. Now the dump valve is going to be out here with the new tank setup. So this is a great spot. We can get all that stuff, put it in a compartment, have it outside the camper, but right where we need it by the sewer dump. All right, before we put everything together, I thought I'd show you how it's pretty secure. And then this way. So I think we have reinforced the whole back end. All right, we got everything back on. We moved the bottom bracket up just a little bit for the jack. Here is the compartment. And you see here, we still have wood when we take it off the camper. All I'm using is rolled flashing from Menards. Cutting it down, bending it. I put a little bend in the corner right there so the new stuff will tuck under it. And then the original trim, which is right here, will end up going on there one way or the other to kind of finish it off so it still has that original look. So for the most part, other than this not having any ribs in it like the other steel, it's pretty close. And I think once we wash the whole camper well, you won't even be able to tell it was there. All right, so a quick walk around. We showed you this side already. Remember, we cut 4 inches off the bottom to get rid of some of that rotten wood. We did take our ladder off, and we are planning to mount 1 LP tank right there. So that will be one more modification to come. And then on this side, I apologize, the sun is just really popping. But there is this side. Again, we need to do the same thing. We need to put the aluminum on this part of the wood and then put the edge metal. But here is the battery box now that it's finished. We ran some new wires. We didn't run them all the way in yet, but so we got some 10 gauge wire, which is plenty for this little camper. And that's a nice lockable cabinet. Okay, so all this work is leading up to installing the larger tank. So the tank isn't here. I apologize. We were hoping to have it so we could keep going, but we're gonna have to wait a few more days. So basically half the tank is gonna go underneath where the original tank was. Half the tank will be sticking out here, which is gonna basically make it to where we're going to put a little deck across the back of the camper, about 13 inches. So it's not gonna be much, but that's where the rest of the tank will sit, right underneath there. And that's gonna give us that 40-gallon capacity on our truck camper.